Here's a joke. A man walks into a library and asks for a book on paranoia. The librarian whispers, "It's right behind you." That's it. You maybe smiled. Now imagine the exact same joke, told on a TV show, with a laugh track roaring underneath it. You'd have laughed harder. And here's the strange part. You know the laughter is fake. Nobody is in the room. It's a recording from decades ago of people laughing at other jokes, some of them long dead. You know all of that, and it still works. Because your brain is running a shortcut so old and so deep that a machine laughing next to you can override your own sense of humor. And that same shortcut is now sitting on every product you buy. Welcome back to The Trap. Today, the herd, how other people, even people who don't exist, quietly make your decisions for you. By the end, you'll know the one number on a review page that actually tells the truth, and the 5-second move that switches the whole thing off. Number 5 has saved me from more bad purchases than the other 4 combined. Stay for that. Let's start in a room in 1951. A psychologist named Solomon Asch sits you at a table with 7 other people. He holds up 2 cards. One has a single line. The other has 3 lines, and you just have to say which one matches. It's easy. A child could do it. But the 7 other people go first, and one by one, they all say the same wrong answer. The line that is obviously too long. Now it's your turn, and your own eyes are screaming the right answer. What do? Across Asch's experiments, about 37% of the time, people denied what they could plainly see and went with the group. 3 out of 4 people caved at least once. Alone, with no group, they got it right more than 99% of the time. So it wasn't their eyes, it was the room. Robert Cialdini gave this its name, social proof. When we're unsure what to do, we look at what everyone else is doing, and we copy it. And most of the time, that's a brilliant shortcut. If 100 people are eating at one restaurant and the one next door is empty, the crowd is probably right. We evolved to follow the herd because, for most of history, the herd knew where the water was. The problem is that the shortcut doesn't check whether the crowd is real. It just counts heads. That's why the laugh track works. Your brain hears laughter, assumes a crowd found it funny, and quietly raises the odds that you will too. Watch how little it takes. In 1969, Stanley Milgram ran a beautifully simple experiment on a busy New York sidewalk. He had people stop and stare up at a window where there was nothing to see. When one person looked up, almost nobody stopped. But as he added people to the crowd, more and more passers-by stopped and craned their necks at the empty sky. A big enough crowd, and the whole street froze, staring at nothing, because everyone assumed everyone else could see something. Over 1,400 people pulled in by a crowd looking at absolutely nothing. Now, put a price tag on it. That empty sky is the little orange bestseller badge. It's the 10,000 sold under the button. It's the "This is our most popular plan" glowing in the middle of the pricing page. It's 5 gold stars and a number in the thousands next to them. None of it tells you the thing is good. It only tells you a crowd went that way. But your herd instinct can't tell the difference between quality and popularity, so it quietly moves your hand toward the thing everyone else picked. And here's where it turns dark, because if the crowd is just a number, the number can be faked. There's an entire underground economy built to manufacture fake crowds, review farms, bots. People paid in secret Facebook groups to leave 5 stars for products they never touched. Now add machines that write flawless fake reviews by the 1,000. The laugh track went digital. It got so bad that in 2024, the Federal Trade Commission made a rule specifically banning fake reviews, fake testimonials, and even buying fake followers, with penalties that can reach past $50,000 per violation. And in late 2025, they started sending the warning letters. And you can feel the damage. In 2020, about 79% of people trusted online reviews as much as a personal recommendation. By 2025, that had fallen to around 42%. Half the crowd walked out of the room because we finally noticed some of them were never there. And it isn't just shopping. This is the same engine behind every bubble in history. A stock, a coin, a tulip, doesn't matter. Once enough people are buying, the buying itself becomes the reason to buy. Everyone assumes everyone else knows something. So the herd stampedes toward the cliff, and the moment it feels safest, when everyone is in, is usually the exact moment it's most dangerous. When everybody is looking up at the sky, that is not proof there's something there. And this is where it clicks together with everything we've covered. In episode 1, your dopamine system made you want. In episode 2, a clever price told you what a deal was. In episode 3, a silent default kept you paying. In episode 4, invented scarcity made you rush. The herd is the trap that borrows all their power at once, because you're not just trusting the product, you're trusting a crowd, and a crowd can be built out of thin air. It is the oldest shortcut your brain has and the single easiest one to counterfeit. So how do you beat it? 5 moves, and number 5 is the master key. 1. Read the 3-star reviews first. The 5 stars are easy to fake, and the 1 stars are often just angry. The lukewarm middle, someone who liked it but had 2 real complaints, is the hardest thing to forge and the most honest voice on the page. Go straight to it. 2. Look at the shape, not the average. A trustworthy product has a natural slope, lots of 4s and 5s, tapering down. If you see a weird spike of 5 stars and 1 stars with almost nothing in between, that's not an opinion. That's a battle between a fake review campaign and reality. Distrust the average. Read the distribution. 3. Ignore the badges. Bestseller, most popular, staff pick, number 1. Assume every one of those was placed there to steer you, not earned. Especially the most popular plan sitting politely in the middle of the pricing page. That's not the crowd's favorite. That's the decoy from episode 2, wearing a crowd as a costume. 4. Ask the empty room question. Strip the crowd away completely. Would I still want this if it had 0 reviews, no sales counter, and nobody I know owned it? If the honest answer is no, you don't want the product. You want the company of the crowd. And that's the one thing it can't actually deliver. And 5, the master key. Decide your criteria before you ever see the crowd. Before you open the app, write down the 2 or 3 things this thing actually has to do for you. Then, and only then, go look. Because social proof can only move you when you haven't decided yet. A crowd pulls hardest on the undecided. Walk in already knowing what you need, and the herd has nothing to grab. The reviews become information instead of instruction. 3 things to carry out. 1. Social proof is a shortcut, and any shortcut that just counts heads can be forged. 2. The average star rating is the easiest number in the world to fake, so read the 3 stars in the shape, never just the number. 3. Decide what you want before you look at what everyone else wants, so the crowd informs you instead of deciding for you. So subscribe to dopamine if you want, not because a counter told you 10,000 other people did, but because you decided this was worth your time. Because the herd works by making you feel like everyone is already doing it. And next episode, we meet the trap that makes spending itself feel like it costs nothing. The little button that says pay later. 4 easy payments. Why splitting a price into pieces quietly makes you buy more and spend more than you ever would have paid up front. That one is next on The Trap.